Okay, in this video we're going to derive one way in which we can find the tangent plane for explicitly defined functions. So this is specifically for explicit functions, and we're going to do it, I'm going to derive it in two ways. This will be one way and the next video will be a second way. So what we have done up to this point is we found the tangent plane for implicitly defined functions in space, and those have the form f of xyz equals 0. And when we did that, we developed the fact that the gradient of our function is actually the normal to the plane. So, and we used vector pp0 on the plane to find the dot product, set it equal to 0, and get our equations. So pp0, if our point has coordinates, if p naught has coordinates a, b, c, then our vector p naught, where p is any other point on the plane, would be x minus a, y minus b, z minus c. And so the way we set up the equation of the plane was by taking our gradient at the point a, b, c and finding the dot product with the vector x minus a, y minus b, z minus c, and since the gradient is normal to the plane, this dot product must be equal to 0, and that generated the equation of the plane. Now, how do we do it when the functions are explicitly defined? So suppose that now we have an explicitly defined function in space that looks as follows. So z equals f of xy. We often see functions written in this way. Well, one thing that we can do is apply what we have already developed. So the way to do that is we can rewrite our explicitly defined function implicitly. So we're going to rewrite this by I'm going to subtract f of xy from this equation from both sides, and then now we look at what we have. Now it looks like our implicitly defined equation f of xyz equals 0. So it does look like that. So what we'll do is this is how we will consider our function f of xyz. And now we're ready to find the gradient, dot it with a vector on the plane, and set that equal to 0, and we'll have our equation for an explicitly defined function. So let's find the gradient. So the gradient of our function, well, we're going to need the partial derivatives with respect to each variable. So partial derivative of partial derivative of the implicitly defined function with respect to x, which we know we can also write as capital F with subscript x, is going to be, well, if we look up here, since we're holding z and y constant, this is really just going to be negative partial derivative of f with respect to x at x, y. Let's do the same for partial derivative of our implicitly defined function with respect to y. So we can write this as del capital F over del y. And looking again up here, well, that's just going to be negative partial of lowercase f evaluated at x, y, or a, b, depending where our point is. And we're also going to need partial derivative of our implicitly defined function with respect to z. Looking again up here, when we rewrote our function, well, that's just going to give us a 1 because both x and y are constant, but z is not. So we have our gradient. This means that our gradient at any point for this implicitly now defined function is going to be the vector that has negative partial of lowercase f, with respect to x at xy, negative partial of y at xy, and 1. So let's write the equation of the plane. So this will be the equation of the tangent plane at the point P naught, whose coordinates will be A, B, C. All right, so we're going to do a dot product between our gradient now at ABC with a vector P naught, where P represents any other point on the tangent plane, and this has to equal 0. So that will result in the following. We will have negative partial of x at AB this time, because I'm doing it specifically at the point P naught, times x minus a. That is the first component of this vector, plus a negative partial of y with respect to, evaluated at AB, times y minus b. And then plus 1 times z minus c, and this is going to be equal to 0. All right. Now, because our original function was explicitly defined, let's go ahead and write our tangent plane in a more explicit form by solving for z. So I'm going to move this term to the right side and this term to the right side, and now we have z minus c equals partial with respect to x at AB times x minus a, plus partial with respect to y at AB times y minus b. And the last thing I'm going to do here is just find a new expression for c. So our point P naught has coordinates a, b, c, or we could write this as coordinates a, b, f of AB, because f of AB represents the height at any point AB on the xy plane. So I'm just going to replace c with f of AB and also move it to the right side of the equation, so I really write the equation of the plane in an explicit form. So here we go. A plane, tangent plane to the surface, z equals f of xy at the point P, whose coordinates are a, b, f of AB, is the following. Z equals partial of x evaluated at AB times x minus a, plus partial of y evaluated at AB times y minus b, plus c, which is f of AB. And we will think about this quite a bit in the next coming videos and in this course, because just like a tangent line in single variable calculus gave us the best approximation to the curve at a point, the tangent plane for a surface gives us the best approximation to the surface at a point. So we can approximate how the surface is changing in nearby points around, in nearby areas around the point where we're focusing in. So here is our equation of the tangent plane when our surface is written in an explicit form.